Well, the Vice President wraps up a tour in Asia with a stop in the islands. His words to Hawaii servicemen and women. It was a quick but poignant trip for Vice President Joe Biden. KITV4's Lara Yamada joins us live from Kaneohe Marine Corps Base, where the Vice President just wrapped up his speech to the troops. Lara?
And as you mentioned, Paula, it was a pretty quick trip. He flew over from Yokohama Air Force Base in Japan just yesterday morning. He had a little bit of time to play some golf, and he went over to the USS Arizona last night with his granddaughter and also with his daughter-in-law, but that was about it. Then he headed here for a speech to what he calls the 9/11 generation. It was about an 11-minute speech. It was relatively quick. A lot of gratitude toward these troops here. Immediately, within about 30 seconds after he finished his speech, he jumped off the stage and he went around the crowd of about 1,000 service members and their family members, shaking hands, taking pictures. He jumped up into the bleachers before he circled the entire area here, trying to get as many pictures as he possibly could with them. Then he talked about the sacrifices that the service members here at this base have given. 2 Marines have died recently, and another unit, another squadron is going to be deployed this Sunday, so he knows that they've been heavily taxed here in this area. It is a commitment that he promises he will honor, and he will commit to these service members for their lifetime.
1% of our population, 1% of our population fights these wars. But that 1% is made up of the most extraordinary women and men this country has ever known, and you're among them. You should be proud of your generation. I'm proud of you.
Now, again, yesterday was his only real venture. As far as we know, off base, he and his family visited the USS Arizona at Pearl Harbor. We have a picture taken with his granddaughter, Naomi. Then it was back to the base after that. And before arriving in Hawaii, Naomi and his daughter-in-law, Kathleen, both accompanied him throughout a 9-day trip to Asia. In Japan, he praised the resolve of the Japanese people in recovering from the March tsunami. And then he headed over to China for a 4-day trip where he focused on talking up the safety of U.S. assets following the downgrade of America's credit rating, as well as building relationships in China. Now, when he headed home here, this is his last stop, a quick stop here in Hawaii, as we mentioned, just about a day and a half. Then he's going to be boarding a plane at Hickam Air Force Base. He just kind of took off a few minutes ago, and boarding Air Force 2 before he heads back to Delaware. He's going to have a day or two at home before he heads right back to Washington for, I'm sure, an awful lot of work. Paula, we'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Laura.